I'm Azrienoch, this is XDA TV, and you don't know it, but red lights are not meant to be driven through. They're meant to be driven under. It's week 11 of 2011, and I'd like you to check out this week's edition of the XDA Insider. Grilled Cheese talks about the weather in Japan. And this week on the Android ROM Rundown, Chad Hughes went missing. If anyone has seen this person, please call the local authorities. He was last seen approaching a white van by a playground, talking to a suspicious-looking child. CyanogenMod made several appearances on the portal this week, thanks to the work of Nicandrus, who wrote a script shell that allows you to compile CyanogenMod 7 for your own device. So the first alpha release of CyanogenMod 7 for the Samsung Epic 4G came out, and also for the HTC Tattoo. I'm sure we'll see quite a few ROMs on new devices, thanks to a set of tools that can compile and decompile and build any ROM from source. It's called Super Tools, developed by a user named Handler Exploit. Is that an odd phrase to anybody else, a user named Handler Exploit? He wasn't named, he chose a name. So Super Tools was developed by an XDA user who chose the name Handler Exploit. It's a very trustworthy sounding name. I'm serious. I trust someone who named themselves Exploit way before I'd trust anyone who named themselves trustworthy. They're being honest. On the Windows side, I'll say something about the HD2. An XDA user that chose to call themselves I'm Milka pointed us toward the hot chick with the white rabbit tattoo in the stupid movie exploiting bad philosophy and worse acting. Allow me to spoil the ending. If you take the blue pill, you'll end up with a very pretty gingerbread port. If you choose the red pill, you get I'm Milka's second version of the honeycomb port. But if you take the white pill, you'll get less of a headache when you watch that stupid movie, because it's aspirin. Also, the HTC 7 Pro got its own forums, and Chef Central added a Windows Phone 7 subforum. Next, I'd like to review an app. It's something I'd like to start doing. And for the first, I chose a game. It's called Galaxy NGC 3D. Basically, it's a combat flight simulator in space. In 3D. Bet you didn't expect that. Each level is a mission. You gotta blow stuff up. Now for controls, you have the option of an on-screen control pad. You have the accelerometer, which I know that they spent a lot of time perfecting, and I do think it's just about perfect. I have to tilt the screen forward and backward a little bit more than is comfortable. You can adjust the sensitivity so you don't have to tilt as much, but then you turn down the sensitivity of turning side to side, which is already where I want it. So to the developers, I recommend separate sensitivity options for up and down and left and right with the accelerometer, and maybe a quick test flight option to check how it feels. They did include support for the Zmote JSI, which I don't have, so I can't speak for it, but the developers are very receptive to emails about bugs and suggestions, so any problem that you have shouldn't be a problem for long. Anyway, the game takes me back to the days of FreeSpace 2, which I think is a game that needs to be brought over to Android. It's in the public domain. Somebody can do it. You know, when I first found NGC 3D, I emailed the developers to ask if it was built on the FreeSpace engine, because it looks a lot like it, but apparently they built their own engine. So yeah, check it out. Lots of eye candy stuff on the portal this week, and really every week. Plenty of backgrounds, an abundance of icons to check out, but I have to warn you, especially the kids, do not accept eye candy from strangers. You'll end up missing like Chad Hughes. I know. The white van really makes them look reputable and trustworthy, but in reality they want to kidnap you. They want to take you to a dark place, rape you, kill you, and make a dress out of your skin. The eye candy is just there to lure you in. I just want you safe, because I care. Lastly, a couple site-related articles on the portal. First, XDA would like to know how often you use the wiki. I'm personally interested in the poll results because the wiki is a fringe aspect of XDAdevelopers.com, just like XDA TV in the portal. It's not included in the poll, but it'd be interesting to see how long each person that voted has been on XDA, and how often they use the site at all. Second, XDA Developers is moving to a new, big, fat, super strong server sometime in the middle of the week that's ending. Now, I don't know how strong it actually is, but I suspect the use of steroids for no real reason. I'm just cynical like that. And that's the moral of the news this week. Cynicism is a good personality trait to have. Makes me automatically skeptical and pessimistic about, well, everybody. Hey, it's kept me out of white vans. Chad. Again, I'm Azrienoch, and this is XDA TV.